Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with episode 18, 17 or 18, but whatever, with of my Halloween horror movie review series, and this review, of course, is for my all-time favorite horror sequel, Evil Dead 2. Last week I reviewed the first Evil Dead movie. This week I'm reviewing the sequel, Evil Dead 2, or Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. And, well, what's this movie about? Well, set right after the first one, technically, it's more of a revised recap of the first one, so it also can be considered a standalone movie too, but it's still technically a sequel, if you take out the recap. But this time this recap has only Ash and his girlfriend going to the cabin. And of course, the same chain of events happen. But then, of course, we finally get to where the first one really left off, with Ash screaming at the camera as an unseen force attacks him, but it doesn't actually kill him. It just picks him up, drags him to the force, and possesses him. In a way, so of course, in the end, he's left with 3 dead friends, an undead girlfriend, and an angry evil spirit on the loose. As nightfall approaches, Ash must prepare to again battle the legions of the damned if he wants to make it down. Make it to dawn. Now, here's what this movie basically turned Ash Williams into one of the best characters in movie history, and horror movie history, and comedy movie history. And here's why the movie is so good. Well, this time, because, Ash is approval on the sequel. The first one, he was still a good character, but a bit of a pushover. This movie, the events of the film has turned him into this gigantic badass, fiercely taking on the forces of the dead without holding back. Some amazing acting, great soundtrack, all the demons look grotesque and awesome. The cinematography in this movie is improved from the first. The camera work in the first movie is inventive. This one pushes it even further. There are some scenes where the camera breaks through the window of a car, or tracks the character all the way through the house without any cuts. Some of these tricks would even be used by director Sam Raimi in his Spider-Man movies. And let's not forget the scene where Ash has a chainsaw attached to one hand near the end of the movie, and a shotgun in the other hand is the most awesome scene in the movie. And it cements one of the best film quotes of all time, and that is, of course, groovy. There are plenty of other great kills in this movie too, there's this scene with the fruit seller, which is still probably one of the funniest scenes in the movie. And it's basically, this demon pops out of the fruit cellar floor and it's like, "What's in my fruit cellar? Someone with a fresh soul." It's just so golden, and even changes genres too. The first movie was more of a straight up horror film, with a few comedy elements thrown in it. This movie is more straight up comedy with a few horror elements in it, so it's kind of the other way around. It would go on to become the rest of the way for the sequel, specifically with the next film, Army of Darkness, which I will review next week. So, with that, and it's got very good, and also, another great scene is especially where the headless girlfriend Linda comes in with a chainsaw and tries to attack him, and then Ash's hand, of course, gets possessed and starts attacking him, and so he's basically forced to cut it off, and his hand even becomes his still moving hand that gets cut off is basically a major antagonist in the whole film. And then, of course, another great scene is where all the objects are laughing. We're all laughing at once, and Ash is just laughing along with them because, the demon's causing him to, so. Which is another. Just makes the movie so golden and funny and memorable. This is what I absolutely call. I call it the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy because it does end on a cliffhanger because, the girl he now teams up with in this movie fails to possess the poem to stop the undead properly, and so she ends up as the hand ends up killing her before she can finish, and so instead he manages to kill the demon somewhat, but Ash, unfortunately, is sucked into a dimension and goes back all the way in time to the medieval times along with the car that he had. It drops, and then these knights surround him, and then he just kills this demon that also traveled with him, and the knights cheer him as a hero, and Ash just screaming in despair as the knights just honor him as he's now trapped in 30,000 AD, and it's a perfect setup for Army of Darkness. Like, this already shows that, of course, this ending definitely shows that there's still gonna be a third film. Because if they didn't make a third film, the franchise wouldn't really be even a good storyline if Army of Darkness wasn't even made. But all in all, I still think this is a fun movie. It's definitely so much better than the first one. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, one of my favorite sequels of all time, and my favorite horror sequel of all time, and here is how I would rank it.
I am going to give Evil Dead 2 a 10 out of 10.
Well, that's pretty much it for my Evil Dead 2 review, and I will now be showing what the next movie I'm going to be reviewing is. Of course, yet another sequel. It'll be the final sequel of the week, guys. The rest of the week will be more original films. And that is, of course, since, like this one, I reviewed the first one last week, so I decided to review the other film this week because it wouldn't really be complete if I didn't review its other half and end to its chapter or story. And that is, of course, for It Chapter 2. Yep, that will be the next review, guys. And yeah, but anyway, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.